We are bringing you Michael Beckwith, a man who is mesmerizing. And I can't explain that anymore. It's something that you're actually going to discover yourself when you see him. Because first of all, he's charismatic just the way he looks, right, Vishen? I mean...
He's like a cross between the Dalai Lama and Denzel Washington.
Yeah, that's just so spot on. And there's something about him that is otherworldly in the sense that it's like he channels the most profound poetry, like listening to him speak. It's like the spoken word poetry in motion. He's just, and you just get captivated by this undulating flow of words that just pow, pow, pow.
Yeah, he literally channels his wisdom. He's the, so I got to know Michael Beckwith because I saw him speak at the Agape Spiritual Center in Los Angeles. It's an incredible version of a church, but a church of like spirituality. And hundreds of thousands of people go to Agape or watch from their computers to see this man speak. He is an incredible luminary and visionary. I'd say he's one of the closest things America has to a figure like the Dalai Lama. And what I like about Michael Beckwith is that he connects the dots between all these different aspects of spirituality and brings it together in a new philosophy of life.
I think after sort of having my first introduction to Michael Beckwith, I couldn't help myself, but I was like Googling voraciously, like wanting to just gobble up listening to this man. And I remember seeing, actually it was, I think, a video shot in Agape Church or Center. And it was him discussing the fact of life and how we have this divine, beautiful pattern of purpose already in us. Like, and he used the analogy of a rose, and he said, a seed has that in it. It doesn't know that it has it. It doesn't need to know it has it. It just has to immerse itself in the right conditions. That's all a seed needs. And he said the seed is carried on the wind, and sometimes for months, for years, it could lay on rocky ground. But when it finds itself with the right kind of soil, with nutrients, and the environment is ready, that's when it starts to take its roots, and that's when it starts to grow into the most beautiful rose. But it doesn't need to think about being a rose. It doesn't need to think about how it's going to do it. It just needs to be where it needs to be.
Huh, and that's a beautiful analogy. I love that. I wanted to share my biggest learning from Michael Beckwith. See, I've always believed that you got to go out there and set goals. You got to think about who you want to be, how you want to conquer the world, how much money you want to have. I want this, I want that. Make all those goals. When I started getting exposed to the work of Michael Beckwith, I found out that really wasn't it. There are certain ways in which we grow as souls. And Michael Beckwith talks about a certain level of living which you aspire to get to, and that's what his program is about, where you consciously do not decide what you want. The universe decides for you. It's as if your mission, your calling, your purpose comes through you, comes into you, and then it becomes your obsession. And when you get to this level of living, where it's really as if you have a calling, when you get to this level of living, everything in life starts going okay for you. It's as if your boss is someone else, and he's cleared the way, made sure you have all the money you need, you have all the time you need, so that you can do that job that you have downloaded. And it's different. It's like most people have jobs. Jobs are what you do for money to survive. When you upgrade and you become a little bit more successful, you have a career. A career is what you do for upward mobility, to grow. But when you get to this third level, what you have is something way better. What you have is a calling. And when you have a calling, you're living life at a completely different level. So this particular class is about going from job to career to calling. And what happens when you get to that calling, and how do you bring in these mystical abilities? Beckwith says it better, right? We're just simply trying to translate this man's wisdom the best as we can. But how to bring out these abilities within you so that you can pursue that calling with joy, knowing that the universe has your back, and knowing that it's going to give a whole new level of meaning to your life. This is beyond law of attraction, creative visualization. It's beyond pop culture, personal growth. It's something which I now use to structure my life, and it's made an incredible mark on me.
So basically, what you're saying is that instead of us trying to organize that goal or visualize the kind of house or life we want to live, if we are open and we're channeling sort of, for want of a better word, letting the inspiration come from there, then that will actually guide.
Exactly. And so a lot of my practices that I once used to advocate, I no longer do. I no longer do creative visualization. I no longer set goals.
Wow.
I do something completely different. And that's what this masterclass is about, life visioning.